All right, we are live here with the infamous Poppa Joel and of course Mike Carlin and Nick Roman. And
What's up,
are
guys?
we actually live on Polishing Profits? Okay, perfect. So you probably noticed a little bit of an different intro.
Yeah, what was that intro?
That was a dope moment from Chris. yeah. He said we could rerun it. No, so normally when Mike and I go live, we use that intro for the IGL. So
You guys got to get a voiceover on that. Let Mike do a little voiceover.
Yes, we do. We are, and that's where our heart is anyway. You know, Polishing Profits hadn't paid any bills. It's only costed money. It's the
official sponsor for Polishing Profits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. With that being said, we can now take your money.
Let's continue.
So look, let's we got everybody all rounded up here, and Joel, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your new position. I noticed you've made a few posts about APEAX in your announcement, but you're now the president of the North America territory for APEAX Films.
Yeah, pretty excited. You know what? The golf course closed October 27th. October 28th, the phone rang, and I talked to my great friend Ed Buse. Ed and I go back almost 9 years.
Yeah.
Ed was the Vietnam distributor for IGL Coatings and started to build and grow this beautiful brand called APEAX around the world. And he reached out and we started to talk, and he asked me if I'd be interested in being the president for North America and Caribbean, similar to what I was doing with IGL. And I said, I'd love to, because I like working with great people and I like building great companies.
Yeah.
So why not? I got Alan, I got Russ. I've never met a trainer like Russ in my life.
Russ is amazing.
Yeah.
You guys met him this week and you saw him work. Like, he's the most relaxed, easy, calm. Less 30 years experience.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, incredible. And so I'm learning a ton, and it's my first time in Alabama.
Yeah. How you like it?
I love it, but I mean, like, we've been talking about this
for a long time. For a long time. A lot of the IGL team has come down. It just never really worked out that you came down. So it was really cool to have you in the shop here.
Yeah.
And you should have seen the team scrambling when I told them that you were coming. Everybody was sweeping the corners and mopping and moving boxes and
I got to meet all the girls here at EZN Outfitters.
Yeah,
incredible business.
Yes, thank you.
Love everybody there.
Thank you.
Yeah, lots of fun. Like, I mean, you got an awesome team, so I can see why you're so successful.
Yeah, that's it. And let's talk about why APEAX is here at EZN. I mean, obviously, this is a service that we're going to start providing. We haven't made our formal announcement on EZN's platform yet. We've kind of teased it a little bit, and this is not the formal announcement, but we will be doing it in the near future. And so having when you and I talked about APEAX and your involvement there, it was a no-brainer that EZN wanted to be involved for that. And who knows where that grows to next, But EZN having world-class trainer in shop has been something special for our team.
I was super stoked to see how many people. Like, I think you guys had like 8-9 people
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Like, it's like, wow, okay, EZN's big outfit, big things.
Yeah.
And what they have planned for it is kind of special, And the biggest thing that for APEAX and the brand and growing in the U.S. and Canada and all over the place where we're going to try to do is the fact that we're going to do with customer service.
Yes.
And, bringing people into the family again. Well, we created the family with IGL. Everybody followed with that, but we created it. And I think we're going to do the same thing on the film side. And everybody knows what we're about, or at least what I'm about. And I'm about helping you grow your business. And if it's using film, coatings in the past, whatever, we're going to do what we can to help you get that integrated into your business and allow you to make more money.
Yeah, no, and kind of, I think everybody knows if you're involved with it's going to be done right, and that's something that gives me peace of mind, and I think a lot of people that follow you know that yes, you're a fun guy and you cut up with everybody, but at the end of the day, business is business, and things got to be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
I know that because I picked up a business, Mike and I picked up a business that you owned and ran, and it was, by the book, and it was a pretty, it's been fun, and learning curve, but
With that being said, it's
by
for
the
sale.
book part. That's my partner, Jeff Carey.
oh yeah, for sure.
he like I've always said, like, you know, I couldn't have done anything that I did do without Jeff Carey.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he was my partner, my brother, you know, I love the guy to death, and I still love him to death.
Yeah.
The only thing is, he's a little far away sometimes now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're enjoying life, and yeah, without Jeff, none of that would have happened.
Right.
Speaking of enjoying life, like, so I remember you and Jeff had bought the company IGL because you were driving your wife's crazy.
You needed something to
So
do.
then you sold
Hands on back to
IGL. Yeah,
work.
so I was gonna ask, is your wife like
Get you out of the house.
saying, hey, you need to get out of here?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, she loves me to death. She loved me when I was on the golf course all summer, so that was great. I was staying at the house at Cobble. She was staying at our other home. And I think it's kind of funny because October 27th was coming around and she knew the course was closing. So I could see her getting a little antsy, like, are you coming back here to this house or are you going to stay over there? What are you doing, right? So, and then it was just perfect timing for the opportunity. And you know what? SEMA was awesome.
Oh man, it was.
SEMA was awesome. I mean, I got to see a lot of people from IGL in the IGL booth, and that's where we let the cat out of the bag at Rennie's party. And you know what? Everybody was so open arms to the idea of, wow, you're going to be doing PPF tint? I want to come and work with you.
Absolutely.
Guys. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the fact that the idea was, well, we're going to take people from other companies. It was the fact that we were going to listen to what people were missing from those other companies. Like, you know, hey, they sell to me, great, they do this, but they don't follow up. They don't call me back. They don't, you know. So I just want to provide that, what was missing in that relationship for everything. And, you know, I talk to my friend Nick here a lot and his lovely wife, who, by the way, I'm her favorite person.
Sarah gets the shout out.
It's probably debatable.
But you know what? I talk to them a lot because they're in the business.
Yes, they are.
They're in the, like, seriously, they're in the business. I want to know what they think about the business, what they enjoy about the business, because if they have certain things that they love with the company they're working with, I want to get those things and add them to what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what's important. Nick, tell us tint and PPF. I mean, I think you recently just started tint. Is that right? But
Yeah,
PPF, you've
we've
in the game
been
for
doing
a while.
PPF for about 2 years, and then tint we just started this last 2 months.
What
Go
has
ahead.
that done for your detailing business?
It's added these extra layers, right? So now you have people that are coming in one side or the other, and they're adding on a detail, or they're adding on tint, or they're adding on PPF. So it's adding all these other revenue streams inside your primary business.
Right.
What I think is really interesting is you guys know so many detailers that aren't doing PPF, but have that trust of the IGL brand, of you guys, of Joel, of Dustin, of Mike. They're going to be reaching out and saying, hey, I want to bring this into my business. Can you help me? Because it is a big leap. You know what I mean? Like when we did that leap, there's a cost involved. There's training. There's, you know what I mean? There's time, effort, money that goes into it. And having people that you trust or are doing business with already, it makes that transition that much easier.
Yeah.
I learned something because, again, it's like when I did the coatings in IGL, I wasn't an expert in coatings or cleaning products or any of that because that's not my job. My job is to help people build businesses. So when I got here and I started watching Russ and listening to Ed, like, I'm so lucky to have these guys, first of all. Like,
They've got an awesome team. I met them at SEMA too. Awesome team.
But what I found that was interesting is, like, Ed, straight up, like, you got to realize when you get into PPF and tint, you're going to be going through a lot of product at the beginning, and that's just part of the game. Like, and that's not a cheap investment. He just wants to make sure and to not lie to people, so to speak. And just make them aware this stuff's going to scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And you're and it's going to play mind games with you because you're thinking things because, you know, and then you start ripping stuff off, and when you hear that, oh my God, I saw Dustin's face. It was like, holy, because all you're hearing is coming off.
Yeah.
But then he fixes it and he just makes it like, it's like, wow, okay.
It's amazing to me how workable the product is. When I think about a sticker and you got like one shot wonder, you know, you put it on, if you mess it up, you're going to reprint. And he was very rough and hands-on with the PPF, and I was quite shocked by that.
Yeah.
Nick, is that your kind of your experience with it? I mean, is it something that you?
It's something you're gonna manhandle. It's something that you know what I mean. It's supposed to be able to take a beating from the road. Well,
Yeah.
you know, your hands are nothing compared to what it's taking out there on the road.
My
No.
hands. I mean, these
Well,
are tough.
I shook Dustin's hands. They are so soft. They're,
got
I don't run on
oilable
my
legs.
hands.
those are not PPF hands, not yet.
No, I don't plan on being PPF hands either.
Listen, I've been in Alabama for 3 days, and every restaurant we go to, all the waitresses is how cute Dustin is. So I don't think he's going to go PPF hands.
No.
I can shop for that. And listen, I say that I am hands on, and I love that kind of stuff. But my time in the shop has ended, and I'm through the shop. I host our meetings in the mornings, but to be hands on out there is not serving our businesses the way they should be served. So. And Mike's
Just
the
like me trying to teach PPF is not the right way to go
and
in.
Mike's the same way, except he does it. He goes into his shop as more like a kind of a stress relief, I would think.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and also
My nighttime
informative. We
is.
test a lot of the
Oh,
different-
absolutely.
Right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's I don't work the shop. It's,
No.
it's more of a hobby for me at
Yeah,
this point.
tested
so.
products
It's been almost 2 years
and
now.
teaching and
Great. Misty's been, Misty's the rock star there.
heck yeah.
And your son, when he's at home in the summer.
And the nephews, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are the best, by the way. If you're watching nephews, hi.
Hey, I want to throw something out. So when we started out PPF, there was a decision to be made. You can buy, you can buy that big plotter. You can buy all that extra film, like you said, and put all that money up front. Or what we did was we bought a smaller plotter. We limited the services, right? So we could learn and grow and not be doing full cars right off the bat. What are your guys' thoughts of what you're going to recommend
That's the
to some of
exact
these?
conversation we just had about Easy N. Go ahead,
Oh.
John.
Yeah, I think that what we're going to do is obviously crawl before we run.
Yeah.
Do pillars, do rearview mirrors, do
Headlights,
front end, like
yeah.
just your basic stuff. But
Yep.
at the same time, something that will be able to get out of the warehouse, like you send the make, model, year, and
Yep.
we'll get the kit cut up,
Pre-cut kits.
pre-cut
Yeah.
kits for that, and ship that, and Easy N can then do those. Always easier to do that than to grab, like we have we were doing a big Denali out there, GMC Denali SUV.
Yeah.
Probably not the best vehicle to test on, but holy smokes, challenging, right? And to watch Russ do the hood by
Yeah.
himself,
Yeah.
like grab that whole, and that wasn't a pre-cut. That's one.
No, you bulk it. Yeah.
He rolled it and owned it, and and it was just incredible. And then it's got the curves in the
valleys,
hood,
yeah, the
whatever.
valleys.
And it's anyways, that's the type of stuff that we'd like Easy N to start off with, and crawl before you run.
Yeah.
Let me throw something out there that I don't know if anyone else is doing. Is when you guys have these trainings, if they're APEAX, right? APEAX,
APEAX.
APEAX,
Yeah.
customers, have them live streamed and recorded and in a private. You see what I'm saying? Because the one thing I've learned is every person that's a PPF installer is constantly learning. 2 years, 5 years, 15 years. There's new cars every year, new tricks every year. You know what I mean? And not having to have a full training go on, but if you're at home and there's a pre-recorded video of a Denali hood, there's value there.
Right.
Well, and this is what we're working on, and I'll let a cat out of the bag, but we're opening our.
You always do.
I know. Aren't you guys like this? Is like you guys are the rock stars of
Yeah, we are
announcing new
behind
things.
the
Why don't you
scenes,
tell them
baby.
the next product that's going to be
Yeah,
released by
yeah,
IGL?
No, but right now the biggest thing is we're opening up our training center in Florida in the Villages, and Michelle Silky, who's very, very experienced PPF trainer, also in the U.S. and wraps and stuff like that. She works with APEAX a lot, and she'll be doing videos, and she's already posting a lot of stuff about it. But the nice thing is we'll be able to do that, and at the training center we'll do a lot of that. And one of the things that I spoke with Hannah Lee, who's one of our reps, is that we've got to get the people that are using APEAX involved more in regards to showcasing their work, and also us bragging about their shops.
Yeah.
Again, that's what I'm about. I'm about building your business. Like, standing on a table yelling APEAX, 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 great, but it doesn't do anything if nobody's buying the product. I gotta brag about you, Nick. I gotta brag about your shop using our products, growing your business, because then people are gonna say, I want to make that kind of money. I want to do that.
I think you're going to transform a lot of because I can't think of another film company that has the detailing roots that you guys have. You know what I mean? Like there isn't. I just think that's huge. I think you're going to make a lot of people a lot of money, and that's really, really amazing.
Yeah, about the organic growth of EZN, and when you look at a like stereotypical detail shop, that's what we were. We went from detailing, one man operation, hired, built, moved to coatings, got expert level coatings. What's our next step? Where is the 1 to 5 million?
Aquatic PPF.
Yeah, and absolutely, in the marine side, and that's I've been talking about this for a year or so, probably a little bit longer than that, and it really made sense this year as kind of economy shifts around a little bit, and maybe the sales don't come so easy. It's like, hey, we need to make sure that we are capturing every ounce of the market that we can, and I think by me, I've had numerous cars that I had to send down the road to go get, wrapped or PPF before they come here for a coating, and it's like, holy crap, I just sent $8,000 down the road, and so that's a decision. And I think there's a lot of detailers out there that could add to each ticket with us, with PPF, and I think that's the market that APEAX is probably going to go after.
I'm going to brag about an installer, and he was an IGL installer at 1.2, and he switched to that, and that's cool. Yeah. That's one thing about APEAX too. You're going to know we're never going to tell you what product you can and can't use. We're not about that. Okay, we're just very, very thankful that you're doing business with us, but we're never going to tell you you can't use our product if you don't do this. Yeah, we're not those guys. Okay, there are a lot of those guys out there. We're not them. Yeah. But what I thought that was kind of cool is you look at Austin Burks. Oh, yeah. You guys know Austin. Yeah. He's in Kentucky, right? Yeah. And he's growing. He just got into a new shop, right? Last night I got a nice message from his wife, and we were chatting, and she's like, "Joel, oh my God, I'm so happy." And we started to chat. And she wants to do tint. She wants to do PPF. She wants to help him grow that beautiful brand new shop. Sure. Yeah. Sure. So they have the space. Now, Austin is one guy. He's busy correction, coatings, doing all this. So she's going to come in and help out. Yeah. And she wants to get involved. And I said, this is awesome. Let me put you in contact with Anna. Have that discussion. She'll tell you what you can and grow. Like, that's what it's about. It's like you said.
Well, that's where the growth is. Yes. When you vacuumed all the French fries you can vacuum, you got to be able to do something else. And it's detailing, and how far does that go?
More French fries.
You should not eat more French.
Dustin's there leaving one French fry behind, just so they come back.
Nick and I absolutely differ in the way that we bring things into our business. Nick is very planned approach and research driven, and I will do my research behind the scenes, but I am more trial by fire and bring it in. Let's get started. We'll learn on the way, and so we both end up, I think, at the same point.
The same spot. That's different road. That's the beauty of business.
It is, and it's cool, and I think so. If you're out there thinking about it, just stay tuned as where we how to make purchases and things like that, or obviously reach out to Joel too.
Feel free, anybody, Joel at APEAX.com. That's as simple as that. And everybody knows my number, 647-456-7764.
Yeah, that's transparency there.
Noted.
Mike's like, wait, that's a different number than you gave me.
Let me just ask one question. How many people have the phone number of, I don't know, like Spell's president? How many people have the phone number of Ceramic Pros president? Right? How many people actually have those numbers or people that they can reach out to and grab and shake and say, hey, I've got a problem or an issue. Can you help me?
Yeah.
And it takes a certain person that wants to be shook. You know what I mean? Like that wants.
And I'm okay with that.
No, I'm serious. Again, like Joel feeds off of that. If there's a problem, he finds that solution.
Well, that's Joel's value is in communication, and as a president or an owner, I mean that's his value is communication and relationships. Like that's, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that goes with it, but but first and foremost is the way with people. And so you lean into that by creating communication, open line of communication.
I hug. I'm a hugger. Everybody, no, but it's true. I am. And you
He
know what?
hugs
That's
me
maybe
all
a
the
French
time.
Canadian thing. But when I come and I see him,
dude,
first thing
we
I do
hug.
is I give a hug.
We hug.
And you know,
Oh,
whatever
no.
it is.
We lost you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we're audio only with just me on the
That's
screen.
okay. They're gonna.
We
figure
look
it
better that way, right?
So let me jump in and say, I think what's really interesting is right now there's so many new detailers. There's so many people offering a ceramic coating. When you're offering tint, when you're offering PPF, and you've got it all under one roof, how hard is it for someone else to now enter your market? If they look at your business, they're doing all of these services, and they're going to come in just detailing or just doing PPF. You create those barriers of entry so much higher in your local area. And I think that's something to take note of is like you're putting this time and effort to go from detailing to PPF to tint. And now whoever wants to come in after you, there's such a large gap that they're like, you know what, maybe I'm going to go somewhere else.
Cut grass.
And then you can own your area.
Yeah, that's the reality, and you should always be looking to grow the business and grow your footprint in your market. And I think that every time I send and I also, by the way, think that the marine side of things is the area of massive growth.
Where you're at, absolutely.
Yeah, Marines needed a solution for more exposed boats that ceramic has done, given you a few years. They're wanting longer. They're wanting better, more impact resistant. And those are your boats that are really suffering through the Gulf and the salt water and just the heavily used boats that just need that added layer. So I think that being on the forefront of that market is massive. So.
And again, with Ed and those guys, and the reason I went over and decided to take on this challenge was specifically for those three guys because I love them and I know what they can do.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are manufacturing product. So, and you'll see I posted today a little, bit about what we're about.
Oh, it's beautiful. The manufacturing facility is absolutely stunning, and it's just cool to see a brand represented so well and by people that are so good and experienced. And I mean, success is
Ed Hughes is
the
all
only
in.
option.
If he's all in, I'm all in. Alan's all in. He's all in, I'm all in. Russ, Russ was 3M's European trainer for 20 years or something.
Right. Oh, he's incredible.
And the guy's so patient.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, he dealt with you for 2
He
days.
did.
I mean,
Can I tell
Who
a
do you have to
story
train
real quick
first?
about that?
Go ahead.
Let's tell a little story. We had a little
Story time with Mike.
Story time with
we had a
Mike.
little,
Do we still have that music?
we had a
Can I
little
step out
pattern
for
that
this?
we had to cut, right? Yeah. And what did Russ say about mine versus yours?
I'm not saying.
He said mine was the best cut of the day.
He did not say that.
No, he did not say that.
He did not say
He
that.
did not
said
say. He said
one.
you did a really good
No,
cut.
no.
Yeah, you weren't the best.
No.
I'm gonna go get Russ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get him.
He said may have been one of the best. That's what I
Because
heard.
Dustin cut through his. He
So
cut
in other
into
words,
his.
Nick, if you need
Yeah.
anybody to
I
cut,
cut no paint.
we'll send Mike over.
I cut no paint. I absolutely did not cut through mine.
Yeah.
I simply did not cut deep enough on one time.
No, you cut through.
But you know what? And Nick's laughing because he knows what we're talking about.
Oh, I know. Absolutely.
And it's like if you've never done this, there's a learning curve.
You got to have as much fun as possible. Because I remember the first,
Big time. No,
5-day
it's a
training.
Oh, go ahead.
You
Nick,
know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the first 5-day training, me and Sarah, we were both there doing it with Expel. And we didn't sleep. Like, we were very stressed out. So creating an environment, where you can, and now again, we were real grateful because we learned a ton. We were doing 8 hours of just bumper, 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 bumper. And then you leave, instead of 5 days, you feel like you've been doing it a month, which I think is a goal, but hopefully a little more sleep can be involved.
So yeah, man, it's exciting times, exciting announcement, Joel, to have you back in our industry. We're going to share you with the PPF industry, or maybe we are the movement where it creates one, and now.
Wouldn't that be cool, right? If we could all
Can't we all be
in the
friends?
same hall, but it's like
Correct.
we don't talk to those guys. They're
Right.
playing with plastics.
Right. Yep. Well, I think
Come on over.
Right. Exactly. And
They're all in the same hall in SEMA, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
right, Nick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? it'll just make our picture, the one that we do every year that we run around and gather people up together, that much bigger.
Yep.
Yeah, and you think about mobile tech and being down there. You haven't.
We do have an announcement.
Okay.
We're going to be at Mobile Tech, so
Yeah.
APEAX is going to have a booth at Mobile Tech. And
That's
we're
awesome.
also going to have a area where we're going to be doing demos throughout the whole show also.
Right.
And
Yep.
don't forget to attend my class too.
Yeah, which my class and mine and Mike's class are definitely not at the same time.
It's gonna be the same time.
We're
It's gonna
gonna be
be
in
the
there
same
talking
time.
to each other.
I'm gonna be honest. Me and Sarah were probably gonna be at Joel's. I'm sorry, Dustin.
We know that I will be at Joel's. If Joel's and mine's at the same time, I will miss mine and go to Joel's. So, no, man, nothing but love and respect for you, Mr. Joel, and appreciate all the things that you've provided for Mike and I, and continue to do so. You know, it's super thankful for that.
That's right, Poppa Joel.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, do we have any comments, Chris? Do we want to try to field those? You want to just read them out? Okay, cool. All right, guys. Okay, Scott Barber made it. There you go. He's hollering at you, Mike. IGL coach got to rough up those hands on some golf, no doubt. Billy Smith said, "Happy Friday," and Don Weagle. How you doing, Don Weagle? How you doing, Mr. Jelly? He asked you so.
Hope he's doing well.
Shout
He's
out.
had some health issues, so I hope he's doing
Shout
well.
out to these guys for commenting. We always appreciate you following along. All right, we're going to.
We get. You know what? Hold on. We got it. Joel, do you have your book with you? Can we get one? You know, when he
I
comes
don't have
on.
my book with me. I do have it with me, but it's in the EZN.
He always gives us one little teaser from the book. He knows that whenever he's on. That's the only reason I rushed early here.
Speaking of that, we sat in a meeting. Well, not a formal meeting, but we had dinner with Joel after he landed. Whenever it was, I'm sorry, Wednesday, and he opens out his notebook and he's got a list of his thoughts and ideas, and it was such a. I mean, it's always such a cool experience as he's going there, and it's really just ideas and thoughts, you know, and it just writes them down as they come, and then we formulated some questions and things like that we were talking about. And so it's just cool to see Joel's book, you know, and his ideas and thoughts. So
Yeah, you know what? And I always suggest and strongly support. When I was at a lot of my companies, I used to make pads. You know, we all make pens and rules. I used to make little pocket pads, and so that I'd always have some, because if anything ever came up, I always wrote it down.
write it down, yeah.
So if I could suggest anything to anybody, is always have something that you can write on, because as much as you may think it's stupid, write it and then really look at it later and think about it, because it could be pretty special. You know what I mean?
yeah, so Nick always janks me hard because I talk about my ideas, and he thinks that I copy him for most things. But just so you know, there's a notebook on my desk at all
Yeah,
times.
yep.
Some of it's a scribble scrabble.
Yeah, but
I'm explaining something to someone.
But this
there.
is what I'm talking about. This
Yeah.
is probably the most important thing, is the scribble dabble.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's notes and stuff, and I refer back to them, and I'll be on a call with Brittany. I'm like, Brittany, go into my notebook and look about 6 pages down. I put somebody's name and number and a message there, you know. So Nick, just so you know, all of your ideas are.
I know. Every time I get an idea, it's just somehow already written in that scribble scrabble there.
With a new logo, so there you go.
This is super important. Super important.
Anyways, thank you, Joel.
Thanks, buddy.
As always,
Appreciate all
love
of
you.
it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Papa.
And Nick,
Thanks,
thanks
Joel.
a lot, buddy. We will see you next week, brother.
Hey, say hi to your wife. Bye-bye.